we are not likely done with this correction just yet. I would expect here to see a rally back up towards 5,100, potentially another retest of the 100-day moving average, if not potentially a little bit lower. In the meantime, here's what you need to know before the bell. So as I said, 6 straight days of selling. It has just been a complete washout. We've seen a very, very strong decline in the markets. We broke the 20-day moving average, took out the 50-day. Market didn't even breathe at that point, just kept going down. We're sitting right on the 100-day moving average as of Friday. That's a very, very long stretch of declines. As we've talked about before, you have these buying and selling stampedes. We are not likely done with this correction just yet. I would expect here to see a rally back up towards 5,100, potentially another retest of the 100-day moving average, if not potentially a little bit lower. There is a probability here, I shouldn't say a probability, there's a possibility here of a market rally that we get back to kind of some level of resistance and then another leg lower before ultimately this sell-off is complete. That would not be surprising. Now, also, we could have just a rally that just goes straight back up and goes back into kind of the bullish trend here for the next couple of months. But again, a lot of that would depend on what earnings season is going to look like. And if earnings are better than expected, that will help the market begin to recover. And again, this week and next week in particular, we've got a lot of corporate earnings out over the next 2 weeks. About 80% of the S&P 500 will report by Friday after next. So again, if earnings are good, that's going to help this market rally back up towards its previous highs. Also, once we get through earnings season, corporate buybacks come back. And again, we're slated to have a record amount of stock buybacks this year. So once that returns to the market, that will be an additional buying power for the market once we get past earnings season. So again, we could have a bit of sloppiness here over the next couple of weeks, particularly. And again, we get this kind of rally back up towards the 50-day, maybe a retest of this 100, and then the market begins to recover as buybacks come into play. And that takes us into kind of the May-June period, which is the end of the seasonally strong period for the NASDAQ. So there is some kind of traditional seasonality still with the markets as we start getting into summer. Now, once we get into July and then August, September, potentially another correction as we get set up, as I said, for the election. So again, this is going to be, potentially, and there's no guarantee of anything, of course, but potentially we could have a good bit of volatility, kind of sloppiness. Maybe this market has seen the highs right now for the year, and we kind of go a lot of, rally, consolidate, correction, rally again as we get into the election, and then at the end of the year, potentially set new highs for the market by, towards the end of the year, but maybe after November. Again, a lot of ways that this market can play out, but we have a few drivers for higher stock prices coming, which again, earnings and then the return of buybacks, which will provide a support for the markets. But again, right now, we are very oversold on multiple levels. And in fact, we haven't seen the RSI this oversold in quite some time. In fact, the last time that RSI was this oversold was back at the bottom that we had in November of last year. So again, just from a kind of a point of just being oversold, I'm not saying we're going to get the same type of rally, but we are oversold enough here for a decent rally coming off this low. So again, if you've been, and we've talked about this, if you've been wanting to buy some positions, we needed some type of correction here to allow you to put some money to work. We may be having that. But again, we'll see how today plays out. And then when I get back on Thursday, we'll go through all the technical analysis again with you and kind of see how this week is shaping up. But that's what you need to know before the bell this morning.